fly?
16 by foot.
I don't know if you can teach me anything. I'll keep looking. I'm 16.
No, you're not.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, look at this. It's red.
Touch! What are you doing?
My favorite color.
Oh my God!
Hey, you're kind of cute.
You got after the show. After the show, please. Please.
Hey, I can teach you a little stick and rudder.
After the show.
Come with me, sweetheart.
All right, down here at the end, the Waco Weaver Aircraft Company
your
from Troy, Ohio. Lorain County, being flown by John Potock today, in honor of his father, Walt Potock. And this airplane was one of 14 that tried to get the Army contracts during the war. It did not. They failed. Why? Too many parts. Look at all this stuff. Too easy to fly. 4 ailerons. Flies like a pussycat. It just rolls so beautifully. Wide stance landing gear. It's the finest flying airplane on the field. The Wacos. So we're going to start up.
Hey, mister, this looks like my cousin, the Red Baron.
Yeah, you better leave that thing alone.
Steal this airplane.
We're going to start these airplanes up. On the right, a Continental 220 horsepower engine, clear prop, fixed pitch propeller, 670 cubic inch engines, built in Muskegon, Michigan during the war. Keith Firmin, chief pilot for American Airlines, fired up another one, 220 horsepower, air cooled. Now a much bigger engine. That's a Lycoming 300 horsepower engine with 680 cubic inch engines, 9 cylinders. It could be 335 horsepower. Rick Conn, available for airplane rides after the show, before and after the show. Our president, Justin Currier, ladies and gentlemen. John Weyrich. Just winning the Wright Brothers Award for 50 years of safe flying. Cranks up another 220 horsepower Continental engine. Some of these were used in armored vehicles, tanks. One more prime, John, and she'll go. All right, meanwhile, Dave Conn fires this up. It'll go. We used to have to hand start every one of these. Brad Bowie was with us back in the early days in the 70s and 80s. Which brings me to the history of this flying circus. It was founded in 1970 by 17 World War II veterans. And we may have to get Chuck Tippett down here or somebody else to start that one. We'll see. As we need him in this opening, we want you to see the full contingent of biplanes. 7 cylinders, air-cooled, designed in the mid-20s. Hundreds of thousands of these radial engines were built during the war. All right, Keith says, let's go. Justin says, let's go. Joe Callan, Scoutmaster, will see what he can do to help. No, we can't push start it. What you're watching is an actual reenactment of the training missions that took place during World War II. Over 1 million pilots were taught to fly here in America in World War II, starting out in perhaps a Stearman. It could have been a Piper Cub. Piper Cubs, designed in 1936, were used in the war as trainers. The Tuskegee Airmen used those. A few, like I said, Wacos, Weaver Aircraft Company, were used. Biplanes were used. There it goes. Just had to speak nicely to it. Had to speak sweet nothings. Now, when the war started, when we got in, of course the war started way back in the 30s with Japan invading China. And then in 1939 with Germany invading Poland. But then we got involved in 1941, as you know, from Pearl Harbor. And we were caught pretty much flat-footed. We did not really have any war materiel. We were not ready. Airplanes were still on the drawing board. Some went from the drawing board literally to mass production. The Martin Marauder, for one, B-26. That went literally from the drawing board to mass production. We were in such an emergency. Anyway, where are you going to build all the engines and the tanks and things like that in the war? Well, you're going to go to the base of manufacturing, which was Michigan, the Midwest, and into Ohio and Cleveland and into Michigan. Muskegon, of course, Detroit. So hundreds of thousands of those radial engines were built. And they survived quite a pummeling in aerobatic warfare, I should say, where everybody was shooting at each other. You could actually see pilots returning in some of the aircraft, such as the P-47, which used an R-2800 Pratt & Whitney, with a cylinder shot out, completely shot out, piston dangling in the breeze, and the thing still made it back. Now get ready to make another video as the airplanes take off in formation and we're underway. Here we go, folks. You can ride in every one of these airplanes after the show. Just go over to the gift shop and buy a ticket. Here comes the next flight of 3. That was a fingertip formation. Hold your left hand up. You'll see what a finger 4 looks like. Or the other way would be the right hand. But this is just a V formation. And you allow